Welcome back to Main Street USA by Lego Disney. This is set number 43302. Contains 3,899 pieces. Retails for $399.99. And this set was provided by the Lego Group for review. Thank you, Lego. And yes, today this is going to be the fifth build installment. And this is the Emporium. And I can't talk today. So, in the last build installment, this is what we did. And today, I forgot what it was, just for my own personal reference, the 24th of June, 2026. Right now, we're at an 8, 8.5. I'm experiencing some scuff pieces, things falling apart, but this is essentially what this is. And you just hold on yourself. I got to put you on mute now, which these goofy Apple devices don't allow you to do. If we had a Windows tablet, I'd probably use that. Well, no, maybe not. I'd have to write up my own. Not a tech channel, but yeah. So today, I'm going to try to do this whole thing, probably in one sitting. I'm not sure yet. So this involves 12 bags, which is 13 through 24. So I'm going to break this down into probably 4 build installments. And yeah, you also need this too. Okay. And I mean, I'm pretty pleased with it. Just the price, I don't know, because this piece here is done. Okay, this is done. A little bit of a thing when I work on stuff like this. Get these plastic shoe boxes. They work very well for this. Boy, this thing really is falling apart. For $400, it better not fall apart, but I've had things fall off. I've had the lamppost fall off a few times, and the tree I've knocked over. I mean, it's city quality. This is by all means not a modular. It looks like one, but it's not. Okay, well, now for the boring legal stuff. These videos are not to be construed or considered as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. These are just merely my notes for the final write-up. In addition to that, don't take these seriously. This is not my job. I do this just for fun. I do cover up the camera from time to time to put parts on. I have to see and build it too. Yeah, that kind of thing. Don't re-upload my videos or my content to other platforms without my written consent. And if you do ask, it'll probably be a no, but it'll save you and myself a headache, so just don't do it, you know. And yeah, these are just meant for fun. They're just meant to be relaxing videos. So sit down, let's build the set, let's explore it, how the build goes, those kind of things. These are just meant for fun. Well, okay, I think we are ready to start with bag 13, and it doesn't feel all that heavy, although it's big. I have a feeling that we're going to be doing the, you know, the big stuff first. So here we got the Emporium, if you want to pause and read that. And yeah, well, kind of looks like it. Maybe I'm not seeing it quite right. Of course, I got a night shot, which doesn't serve this justice. And looks like we just jumped right on into Minnie Mouse. So that's the building guide preview there. Okay. Let's see what kind of goodies are in the bag. I plugged my camera in because my battery was almost dead, making sure. We haven't tackled a whole lot of the stickers, which is kind of scary. That's what we've done so far. This one's been getting hit the most, followed by that one. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be in for a long haul. So yeah, this is going to be a very lengthy one here. Oh yes, buckle up, kids. We have a lot to talk about. I haven't done one of these, I haven't filmed in a while. And you probably won't notice it on your end, but a lot of things happened. Lots of things. Oh, we got plenty of those in sand green. That's cool. I should just call this part inspections. Part unboxings. I've been thinking about it. So just a lot of things have been happening. Let me get everything set up here and we'll dive into it. It's good, bad, and ugly. Grab this plate. If you don't have long nails, you're in deep doo-doo. There we go. Let me kind of get this situated here. I kind of sound like I'm tired. It's hot and miserable where I'm at. So I just kind of camped out in the air-conditioned place. Okay, let's put together Minnie Mouse finally. And yeah. Okay, and yeah, I always like doing these Let's Build It's. I've noticed more and more people enjoy these. And I had a viewer of mine, he had found my main channel. He goes, "Are you Let's Build It? You sound awfully like him." No, Jastifer is my main channel. So if you're watching this, yes, you found my main channel. That's where all the polished stuff goes. If you found me here, this is the raw behind-the-scenes content that most people do not want to watch. So I always like to drop little hints and tidbits of future projects that I'm working on. And so they just use a regular Mickey Mouse head. All right, we got a bow to put on her. Making sure I got everything on her. Pretty cool. Minnie Mouse. Not too bad. Okay, now we're going to be focusing our attention on the base. And when designing the Main Street USA, Walt Disney drew inspiration from the turn of the century charm, love his hometown of Marshallville, Missouri. I don't know how to pronounce that, but kind of not in the mood to read today. So here, I'll put this up here so you can read it. Yeah, so I mean, if you had that kind of money, you can reproduce a whole city if you want. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, one of my videos, I actually decided to use the talking avatar. I may put him down here. If he's down here, that's what I'm doing. That's the project I have been working on for a little bit here. There's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of things that I'm going to change here pretty soon. So I decided just to do a talking avatar in one of my miscellaneous polybag builds, just to see what it would do. You know, how easy was it to put in. And it was a bit of a turd, but I got it working. More or less, it works pretty good. The only thing I had to deal with was with audio issues, but that wasn't too terribly bad. And somebody's already up out of bed. Yeah, I just got off of work, so what does that tell you? We got somebody here who's more or less lazy that doesn't want to do much. and it starts a fight, so just kind of stay out of it. So the avatar, the talking head, works very well indeed. So I am going to stick with the anime figure, but there's more to it now than this. Lego is starting to get a little kind of angry about us using, you know, like a mascot, a Lego minifigure mascot. I guess the minifigure is a trademark, and we really can't use it for anything. Like, I can't put it in my banners or anything like that. So I got to thinking, why don't we use the anime figure as as a mascot? It's got to be so bad now that these copyright things are getting to be out of control, where it's not just fair use. Everybody knows I didn't design. I designed the theme behind Jay the Surfer. But if Lego just insists, don't do that, okay, we won't use it anymore. So I'll rub anything that's related to Lego out of the main context of the channel, and then we'll just talk about, my plans of an avatar. So I think it'd be kind of cool to do that, just to kind of be a VTuber. And the VTuber stuff is not by choice. because guess what? I got a harassing comment about my vision impairment, which is the final nail in the coffin for doing face videos. But that I will continue in the next segment. I have to go check on a video. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get stuff done here. Moving on to step 3. Okay, where were we? We were talking about that. Okay, yeah, so I had a rude comment. I'll read it here because I'm going to do that. Yo, brah, why are you eyes so retarded? Like, the guy couldn't hardly speak. Why you eyes so retarded? You know, that that was a not final nail. I'm not doing any more face videos, so, you know, I was planning on doing a live stream too, but which we need to talk about that here in a bit. So I thought, okay, you know what I did. You know, I wasn't going to hold back on that one. I had to, and you know what? He said that on one of my videos that didn't even have a face video in it. It was one of my tutorials. And you know, I don't know, you know, why people do that. So I got to thinking, why don't I just be a VTuber? I mean, you guys are here for me to bore you and put you to sleep, so I may just add some cartoons with it. You know, that kind of thing. And yeah, I gotta have fun with those guys. And yeah, we're doing a lot of tiling in here. So this looks like this bag here is just tiles. We're doing a lot. I mean, look, literally, you're doing a lot of stuff here. I mean, it's not just 1 or 2 pieces. But the thing is, though, I just like, really, dude? Seriously? You just ruin it for everybody else. Sometimes I'd like to do a wall of shame or a video of shame, but I don't want to get into all that. Boy, somebody in the house, I guess, is on the phone. They're talking like really loud. I live in a house full of really loud talkers. A lot of everybody here has hearing problems. I lucked out and took the vision problems. But anyways, though, so I got to deal with that. So there's a couple of options I was thinking about. First off, I wanted to do face videos because a lot of the expressions when I get these sets are just funny. Like my jaw drops when I see a building technique, or like, why did they do this? You can't see that when I'm doing here. All you can see is my hands moving. And the avatar in the corner, it adds a little bit of the commentary with it. Which is okay, because I'm probably going to stick with that. But then, some people want to see a human face. I understand. I really do, but I'm kind of done with that. So, you know, just don't want to deal with it. All right, and then now we're turning our attention back here. But I was like, okay, well, it took one person to ruin it for everybody. That's quite all right. So, a couple of options. First off, I don't have to show my face at all and just do this. Or I can continue showing my face and get the comments, which I just think that's just kind of rude. I can do strictly VTuber, which means I can talk to you all using my anime avatar, which, you know, I don't care to... Yeah, I mean, which wouldn't bother me. I don't have to show my face, which means I can go on stream with messy hair and no one will ever notice. Which I still got to get the haircut, by the way. Or, here's one I was thinking of, wearing a mask. Like, may as well just push this thing out. And I saw somebody who did just that. So, first off, the nasty comments I just get tired of, so just not even going to mess with that. So I figured, okay, well, everybody's going to have to get punished for just a handful of people. I mean, the comments are very far and few, but I just figured I don't have time for it. So that's what I'm going to do. Or I can just not show my face, which is another option, but sometimes people want a face to go with the voice. Now, if you know what I look like, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know... And not do any of this stuff would just be kind of pointless, you know. Or I can do the VTuber, or, like I said, wear a mask. And I thought, well, what kind of mask would I want to wear? That's where it comes back to the copyright stuff again with Lego. I can't just make my sig fig mask, put it on my head, and just start talking, because the minifigures are trademarks. I can't just do that without Lego's consent. And getting into all the legal issues, I may as well just come up with my own stuff. Okay, now we're working here. And so I got to thinking about what can I do? And so I was kind of like, okay, there's some YouTubers who used to wear a mask doing their Lego videos, and they decided to take the mask off so people knew what they look like. Some wear masks because they feel comfortable, and I put that in the wrong spot actually. We should have started with the white stuff first, and I got to rustle up a Brick Separator, which the set does come with. But get in there. So I'm really thinking about the mask method, just kind of as a mascot. Well, none of my channels have an official mascot. Jay the Surfer was the mascot, and I thought, well, I could still have Jay the Surfer. What I would do is make Jay the Surfer an anime figure. Okay? Keep it drawn the same way as they do in Japan. Keep everything like that, because that's what animations are. I thought, well, why don't I just do that? Make my own creation. I could either hire someone on commission to do it or do it myself. So I'm going to just try to take a stab at it and see if I can get it to look how I want it to look. And if I do have them in the video, that's kind of how I want them to look. But the short hair, the blue shirt is just rather kind of dry. So I need to come up with something a little more creative. And by the way, I'm working on step 6. That's why I'm getting confused. So that's pretty much how I figured it out. So it's like, okay, how much does a mask cost? I'm sure you can probably order one and have it made. Shouldn't cost all that much. Let's just say it's the price of a Death Star. I kid you not. And I had learned something. There's actually a theme that goes along with it called, what is it? Let me see if I could say it. Kigurumi, which is like a cosplay thing. And I thought, okay, well, I just need a mask. And we're missing one whole white tile that goes here at the end. I gotta check my bags. And I just thought, okay, you know, it shouldn't be that expensive until I found out they can make one for $600 or $700, possibly more. I thought, well, I don't want to blow my whole Lego money on that, just to mask off a problem. Okay, it's a white tile. I'm making sure I didn't put it somewhere else. Oh, there it is. That's one thing bad about working on a white workbench. But I was thinking about the mask, and I thought, well, it shouldn't be expensive. But this is expensive. And I thought, I found that they actually had a Reddit community and for this theme. I don't want to go full-blown cosplay costume. The hairy arms are my kind of the trademark now. And I thought, yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. So I thought, yeah, it would be kind of fun just to have a little humor on this channel. There was somebody else that did it, that was building a Lego set in his full kig. Like literally just in his whole full-blown costume. I thought, I looked it up on YouTube, I thought, I bet there's someone that's done something like this. And there was. I think this guy was probably in his 20s just doing this whole thing. And I thought that was the hilarious thing, just watching this guy try to build a Lego set in his whole Kigurumi getup. And I thought, man, if somebody like this can do that, why can't I do this? You know, and I thought, well, first off, I don't want to dress up. It's already hot in here as it is. And I heard you can't breathe in those things, so it would just be kind of like, oh, what do I do? You know. And wearing the whole gloves or whatever. But I'm not into cosplay, but it's, you know, it's just something I've been kind of tinkering with since after the comments. Lego kind of getting down on the, well, you can't use sig fig type deal in your banners. So I'll just come up with my own thing. And I thought, man, if I can just come up with a really good one, I can probably commission someone to make a mask for me. So I can do the live stream mask. Be the masked villain or something, I don't know. So sometimes this stuff happens and I got to deal with it. And we're just about done here with this bag. I'm just going to nail this thing out here. Be careful, there's actually a hole here, which probably indicates that there's going to be a door there. But yeah, boy, that is tiles. I got to tile that all in. So I got to thinking, if somebody else can do this, why can't I do it? So I'm thinking about doing just that. So since I've been in all this stuff, I'm learning new things. I didn't know a lot of the stuff even existed. Now I just got to think about how I want to do it. So I'm going to be working on a mascot for this channel as well as for the main. Won't use my face in it because somebody had to mess it up for everybody. Oh, there it is. You know, but somebody's going to say, well, why do you care? Opinions mean nothing to you. Yeah, but getting the same thing, why are my eyes doing it? It gets kind of annoying, so I figure I'll just cut that out. It means it would just add a little humor to the channel. While I'm roasting like a hog, you know, it'd be kind of interesting. And that's it for bag 13, which does tiling. And yeah, I mean, that's what we have remaining there so far. All right, now we're going to move on to 14, and don't let the size fool you. Yeah, so that's pretty much what has gone on. So I had a little bit of a fun flavor of everything this week. I'm starting to get where I'm tired of these paper bags. It just, parts keep sticking at the bottom. I did order some parts for some future tutorials. Let's put the big ones over here, which is cool. A lot of much needed parts. There was one piece I was a little too late on and they discontinued it. And I thought, well, I guess I had that a-coming. So you know what I did there? I just have to wait. So if I do decide to have the avatar in this video, let me know how you like it. I don't know if I'll have him in or not, but we will see here. Put this here because we're going to be focusing our attention right over here. So, getting a mask made. I don't know if I'll ever go that far, but we'll see here. And plus, it'll be cool to have an actual life mascot. I've been thinking about it for a while, but now I'm kind of pushed into my uncomfort zone. I'm going to have to think about... I can't even find a 1x4 tile in here. I've got these ingots. I need these ingots in different colors other than white. Lego, why do you keep sending me white stuff? Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this the last clip, but Lego sent me 4 sets I just have no desire to build. And, oh, there it is. And I don't quite understand why they have these forms that we have to fill out. It's like, please tell us if you don't want these sets. I tell them I don't want these sets. The sets are coming to the house. It's a theme that I know very little about. So now on, I'm going to emphasize that in my videos. The Lego sent me these, and this was a group, a batch of sets that I just wasn't interested in. So yeah, I have to put that disclaimer as part of that because I didn't, you know. It's not like I purposely asked for them like this. This one here, when they told me about it, I said, yes, I'll accept. Because, I mean, Disneyland, who doesn't know anything about Disneyland? You know, if I haven't been there in a million years, you know. But yeah, if you're into cosplay, help me out here. Where do I start? Because I need to do it. This is just going to be for YouTube. I'm not going out to conventions. Although that would be very funny if I did. Oh, that would be hilarious. Just go in there in a full setup and just be like, who are you? Well, I'd be dressed as my mascot so they know who I am. Why don't you show your face? Because, oh yeah, and if you're dressed up in those outfits, you're like a mime, so I don't even have to talk, just do hand gestures and stuff. So be like, I don't know, maybe do a little bit of sign language that I'm trying to still learn. That kind of thing. I mean, it's just going to be all fun and games, you know. So that's what I was thinking about, you know. So we got to make 2 of these. Yeah, I've been reading some of the comments on this channel, the good ones, or even the constructive ones too. I'm getting more and more people enjoying this type of content, though, just because I'm walking through the set. I'm building at a normal pace. Okay, boy, this is just... you got to wiggle it in there. Oh, I got to make 3 of those. Oh, I got to put another one over. What? Okay, I messed up here. No, 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 I didn't mess up. Okay, I would have dinged it down, but we're getting to the point where this is getting me more like city quality. But yeah, I'm just kind of had it with the... why are your eyes all messed up? What's wrong with you? Well, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm solving that problem right now. Yeah, so that kind of thing. It's just kind of sad. It's like we're putting on some sides here. These ingot tiles always come in handy. You start getting these, hoard them up. But yeah, I think we need to add some fun to this channel, you know? Go on here with a mask and just act goofy and review a Lego set. Somebody else can do it. Why can't I do it? You know? Well, that kind of works out perfect there. Yeah. Kind of corrects off that offset. But, you know, I think it'd just be something different. I think this is considered lower walls at this point. Now we're going to rotate around here. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I think getting a mask and just building up a mascot brand would be cool. It'd be across all my stuff. Okay. Now, getting the money for the mask, you know, my family doesn't like vacations, so I think I already got that covered. But I have to have an idea first. And even if I hired someone to draw me up an anime figure, I still got to have an idea. So I got to work on that. So this whole thing from start to finish may take a year or two. Depends on how aggressive I tackle it. So we'll see. But I think it'll be something a little different than what we normally do on here. Okay. I don't like sticking... You know what, Lego? You had these with studs on both sides, and you're using these? Well, we really are doing city quality here. Really are city quality. Oh, I did read one of your comments about the set, and you said you do not see the price in it as well, and people have other things to spend their money on because of groceries, tariffs, and all that stuff. I'm going to say it. Yeah, Lego's not a high priority for some anymore. For me, you know, I get this stuff, and you know, I understand. I really do. It's an expensive hobby. It doesn't have to be, though. It doesn't have to be expensive. The only thing I can suggest is secondhand Lego. Just buy used Lego. You dump it inside of a thing of soapy water and just let the part soak and be done with it, you know. That's one way of doing it. You know, so we're just doing low. I mean, that doesn't look too bad. I like those things. They look like the little panels that you'd see, like the little raised panels, like you'd see on a 6-panel door. Not too bad. Okay, now we're going to focus our attention on the interior. And my apologies if you don't like the rants and stuff in the videos, but I have to kind of make these a little more down to earth. I like this channel the way it is. I like it raw. I like it uncut. You know, I don't want to script things. I don't want to filter things. I want to tell you stuff as it is, you know. So we're going to be working on step 18. We're going to be working on sub-steps 1, 2, and 3 here. So I think it just would be it would be honestly cool to just kind of do things a little different on here, you know. Because I don't want to be, let's review a set, you know, I don't want to do that. So I want to talk while I do it. Of course, I've had people literally tell me to shut up while I'm doing this and just build. You know, you can always mute the audio down there, right? Where my finger's at, you can mute that. This is probably the things, I haven't been here for so long, I'm assuming this is probably a candy store. But I didn't know Kigurumi existed. I knew cosplay existed. I had somebody that used to do it a lot, and he really enjoyed it. He tried to get me into it, and I thought, oh, I'll go, but I don't want to get dressed up. I've never been to a cosplay event, but what I heard, they were pretty fun to go to. Now going to... Oh, I'm missing a Play-Doh. There it is. Going to what would they say? Those Kigurumi things, like an anime cosplay. They say that's a whole different experience if you know the characters. And I thought, oh, that would be kind of fun. It'd be like going to Disneyland, but cheaper. And they don't, and the characters don't talk to you because you know you can't talk in those masks. You can barely see. Ooh, yeah. But I think it'd be something very, it'd be something I should experience once. I couldn't get dressed up in public. Well, nobody would see me. I guess it'd be all right, but at my age, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we got that made. So these are like little bins for the candy. Sorry if my hands are in the way. Yeah, imagine me wearing a mask doing this. What I heard is that the gaps that you look through are no bigger than the side of this plate. Like slits. You know, if you're wearing a Kig mask, and I thought, well, heck, if that's the case, then I may as well just wear a welding helmet to walk around. In a desert, a welding helmet would get mighty hot, and I heard they get really hot if you wear all that stuff. I thought, oh, I don't know if I can handle that or not. Now, do I think some people, I read on there, they think it's weird. Do I think it's weird? I mean, come on. I do Lego. I can't condemn somebody else for doing something when I'm playing with a children's toy. I mean, we're exploring our imaginations, right? Is that how it is? But if you're into that or cosplay, let me know. You know, and like I mentioned this in a few other videos, these are all open chats. You can talk about anything. As long as it's appropriate, I don't care. It's open. Everybody's included to talk in the conversation. You know, you can start up a whole new topic and we can talk about it in a later video. These are kind of like displays. So these could be lights, but I think these are kind of like a candy store. I don't want to go to Disneyland. Too bad my bunch doesn't like it. Boy, we missed a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, did I do something wrong? I did. You know what I did? I skipped step 17. So let me grab a sticker sheet and put them in there. We forgot to put some of the decorations on here. See, I mess up. So this whole installment today was lower walls. But I do get the comments, you know, I like the mistakes you leave in there. Lets me know not to do those. Yeah, that's all that matters. I don't see anything in my hands. Oh, there it is. The book was hiding it. Naughty book. All right, so that is it there. And that takes care of bag 14. And if you have one of each of these little pieces here, and hopefully I got this right, that's what you should have too remaining. Okay, we're going to wrap up with bag 15, and I want to thank everyone on my main channel and Patreon for being contributors. Why? I may just do face videos on there instead until somebody ruins it there. I think we might just do that. I may just talk about upcoming projects or something. And I got to find the glass, plastic. We're going to have to inspect these here. One of you did mention put it up against a bright light. Oh, it does work. Well, we'll get to that in a second. We're already going to have to ding off our stuff here. So this bag here doesn't have a whole lot. But now we got to do part inspection. So thank you for mentioning that about putting it in the sunlight, because I did not know that would work, or a bright light. Well, now, thank you for mentioning that. Why? So we could admire these scratched pieces. Isn't that cool? Don't you just love that? Yeah. Well, we're at a 7. Let's see here. I'm checking this one here. I got to put it in a dark area. Actually, I do have a bright light. And some of these, they just come with dust on them. That's not too bad. You know. And some of these just come without a scratch. Now, why do I go to this extent? What's the point of this? If you're paying $400, 400, we're not talking beans here, we're talking dollars here. $400 to get a set that's so far rated at a 7 because of the way it was packed. Just to kind of let you know that that's what you'll be looking forward to too. Okay. So this is part inspection. I can always use the earth green window frames, good for log cabins or for winter style buildings. Okay, so we got a little bit of everything here. Okay, now we're going to move on to the minifigure, and this might be a part guest. I'm not sure who she is. I don't know. I will have it indexed hopefully correctly. Okay. See, at least here on this channel, if you've been on my main channel, you're just visiting this channel, I need to push this channel more on my main. This is me. This is the raw me. We don't want her to be frightened. It's supposed to be Disney. It's supposed to be happy. So she's probably the Emporium worker, probably the cashier. See, sets like this, I have fun building. It's just I don't see the price in it yet. Some of you have commented you don't. And so she's done, no accessories, and that's it about her. Okay, now it looks like we're working on mid walls here. And we have, the sticker depicts the original 1977 movie poster from Star Wars, A New Hope, and is shown as for sale as a collectible poster. Well, we're going to have to check that out, huh? So we got a little bit of everything going on here. We need to look for sticker number 19. Yeah, good luck trying to find that. This one stops at 17. It's probably the one sticker sheet I couldn't grab. There it is, right there. See, there's not a lot of YouTubers who will sit down and build with you. And a lot of them, they do this just to hurry up and get a set built. You know, to them, this is money if they don't. To me, I just do this as a hobby, so I have an advantage. Okay. So now we're down to a 7 on the score here. I mean, it's sad. Oh. Remember I was talking about these in one of my other installments. Well, I've never had those before. That'd be a nice piece to buy here. You know, I moved this camera. We're going to be working here. All right, let me bring this up a little bit here. I got a song stuck in my head right now. It's a hip-hop song, and I can't rap it for you, unfortunately. Maybe I don't want to do that. I don't want to embarrass myself. What am I talking about? I'm talking about wearing a mascot mask and here on stream. I mean, I'm gonna have to get used to it sometime. Warehouse style flap windows. Oh, those are always kind of cool. They show them open, but we don't need to scratch. The door was really the only thing that was scratched. Oh, well, now I want to go to Disneyland. But yeah, though, I mean, you know what? Lego needs to bring out a full modular series of Legoland. I bet they'd make a killing off of that. Like, where you can buy the rides and stuff and build it. Or some of the main attractions. I think that'd be awesome if they did. But that's just me talking there. I don't know. Now we got to make 3 columns. So if you think it's a good idea for me to humiliate myself and more or less wear a mask and do videos, let me know before I start thinking about. I mean, I may as well. Oh, they got the Minnie Mouse ears. Oh, this is cool. I bet those are exclusive, though. You won't be able to get those anywhere. But yeah, I really kind of want to, since now I can't use my sig fig or anything like that, and that means I can use my avatar for my building guides, I can use it for my profile picture, I can do a lot with it. So sometimes these little setbacks are actually a blessing in disguise. So now I'll be working on my avatar. I got to make a wetsuit for him. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do have stuff for cosplay. If I ever get into it. Not, but you got to cover your body up, right? Well, guess what? I have a wetsuit that does just that, except for hands, neck, and feet. Well, feet, you got to wear shoes. I just wear some booties. And then the hands, I usually, when I'm surfing, I don't wear those goofy gloves. So I'd have to find something for that, because you can't have any skin showing, so I got that. And then the top part is the neck. Well, you have that turtleneck thing, so I think I've already got it figured out. I already have half the stuff here to do it, except for the head part. Am I going to do it? I don't know. Yeah, probably not. But, you know, it's just this stuff just happens. Like, okay, why did this stuff happen the way it does? Sometimes things just work out, and, you know. And I'm not a mask maker by any means, but I do have the stuff to form plastics, so I still might be able to make my own. All right, we got to do 2 other columns here. I have an airbrush spray rig that I could use to make one, you know, to airbrush the mask, or rattle can it. The rattle can special. Yeah, but if you think it's a good idea, let me know. I mean, we got to do something fun on here. I can't make these the same old type of let's build it type videos. You know, got to have a little fun here. I got to make this a little fun for you. That means if I have that, you'd see more than just my hands. As far as for a face video, now you know why. But be something different, something fun to just do. I'm using that to straighten these up here. I don't know why I did that, but you know me. I still got to get a haircut. I've been kind of putting that off. I got to make an appointment really bad because my barber's going to be out of town for 2 weeks, and I don't want to wait around longer. Like, I've already decided I'm cutting it off. It's got to go. Time to grow up. Time to be an adult again. And that concludes that section right there. Well, let's go and knock out the door real quick here. Let's take our scratch door that is just... This is really unacceptable, Lego. Jay, why are you complaining it's free? Well, if you're spending $400, you want your parts scratched? Let me know in the comments. I'll get that. Why do you care? It's free. Well, would you pay for it? And I'll get them comment. Oh, I wouldn't pay if it's scratched. I'm like, yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. I never thought about using those for handles, but they did. Yeah, it fits right in that opening there. Yeah, you can see it better than I can. And, okay, let's drop these in here real quick. And I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. 1x5s. I never thought I'd ever see those. So yeah, just a lot of stuff been going on. At least it's not legal issues. So I'm going to try to avoid the legal issues and just get rid of Jay the Surfer as a mascot. He'll still be in videos. But as far as for animations, I was thinking about rigging up my sig fig, but well, we don't want to step on any toes. Hey, you got to have fun with that. When Lego said no, we prefer you don't do that because people are going to confuse you like you're the, you know, with the brand or something. And I'm like, oh, well, I kind of see where they're coming from with it, but then again, it's like, it's not a licensed character, it's my character. But so I'm just going to make Jay the Surfer as Jay the Animated Surfer. I mean, if you can't do A, you just do B. Okay, you're going to have to do a lot of wiggling, jiggling there. There we go. All right, so now we're on step 30. A Mickey Mouse ear hat element was created specifically for this model and for you to add to your Mickey Mouse ear hat collection. The Lego minifigure guests can buy them here. I was right. That's the best thing. We just got to buy more of these. We got to make 2 of them. I remember me and my sister had these when we were kids. And they were like cool. We still have them too. I'm sure now they won't fit on my big noggin. But a lot of the kids would wear those. I like those things, and now it's like, I'm too old, I can't wear that anymore. It's like, no. Why did I have to grow up? What a waste of time. Because now when you grow up, you have to work and do all this boring stuff. Yeah. Do they want these in here? Maybe it's the candle shop. They only want 3. They could have easily put it 4 in there. Okay, and then this goes here. Oh, those Mickey Mouse ears. They got a pink one in here too, the one we've already saw. With a little bow for Minnie Mouse. Well, they don't think they had Minnie Mouse. My sister and I, we both had the same. I think ours had names embroidered on them. I don't remember. So this is more or less a gift shop here. And we got to put some magic wands in there. Yeah, you carry around a sword a day, they'll arrest you. Wouldn't want to have that. I mean, yeah, I'd say that, you know, this set's expensive, but you are getting you're getting a good build experience. I just say the build quality could have been improved a bit. This is something that you can spend with your children. You can build at the dining room table, at your breakfast bar. You can sit out on your back patio if you live in a cooler area and just build and have fun. You know. Yeah, so yeah, look for a parts haul coming soon. I got a parts haul coming in. I think part of it should be in by the latter part of the week, because today is a Wednesday, so hopefully I can get a parts haul for you. And yeah, we're getting close. So we're on the last page. Okay. And of course, we got the register here and the credit card machine. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to hawk in your retirement checks just to do that, or year's pay. I'm sorry, but Disneyland is so expensive. But you think about it, though, Disneyland, you know, it does create memories, you know, stuff that you can't. It's like building a Lego set together. You want to create a memory. And that is the register with the typewriter and the thing. That goes right there for the customers to buy the overpriced goods. And you know, we got extra swords and stuff. I'm just going to put these in here just to kind of make this look full. So he gave you 2 extra ones. Only wanted 1 apiece, but you know, you got them. And this is what we have remaining here for bag 15. Okay, summation of thoughts. And yeah, as you can tell so far, no, stand the right way. Yeah, we're at a 7 so far. I'm kind of disappointed with the scuffed parts. Build quality, I'm going to say, is average. I'm not impressed with it. Build experience is still really good. I'm not going to lie there to you. And as you can tell, we got somewhere today. And yeah, I'll get this up as quickly as I can. See if I can get my avatar working. I've tried him in short videos. Let me try him in a long video. See if I can find an efficient way to edit him, put him in, and I think we'll be good with that. I think it'd be kind of cool to have an avatar in this. But if you like the avatar in the corner, let me know. Let me know what you think of him. And tell me what you think of this so far.